2014. Pavement is a little bit rough on the start of the ride, or at least was. This is the last weekend that they're going to do the MS 150 in Columbia. At the end of the ride, they were going to switch it to the Alton, Illinois area for next year for the Gateway MS 150. And the ride that I did on this day was the 75-mile ride. Day, if I remember correctly, it was about maybe 58 degrees in the morning. When you first get started with the ride, there's usually a lot of riders in the group, but it tends to spread out after just a little bit. About 10 miles from the start of the ride to the first stop. Hitting a little bit of an uphill here. definitely a great experience. You got a lot of nice people out there, a lot of riders, you know, kind of like yourself, that are really serious about it and are out there for a great cause. And it's really a great experience. I was kind of out there on my own this time in 2014. I was with a team, but not really many people that I knew or anything. Pavement. You get a lot of that too. And we're coming up on the first stop. You've always got people greeting you at each stop, which is nice. And a lot of cyclists, and you know, plenty of drinks and food and all that kind of stuff. And stops are about every, like I said, 10 miles or so, something like that. You've got all the Gatorade and everything, and different snacks they've got out on the tables. You know, these are all volunteers that hold these, that, you know, sponsor these stops. And here I am pulling out of the first stop. Sorry for that kickstand noise. With the camera mounted to the handlebars, you kind of get all the noise off of everything on the bike. Countryside in Missouri. You see a lot of cornfields, soybean fields, that kind of thing. But it's nice. It's, you know, you're getting out there, getting all the fresh air. recording this video is to kind of give people who want to look online, you know, an idea of just, you know, exactly what it's like. And it's, you know, really exciting to be out there. I mean, because you're out there in the middle of nowhere, you know, sometimes with a bunch of other cyclists and sometimes not. And, you know, I mean, it's just great. It's just, you know, and you feel great when you get done too. I mean, obviously you're tired, but you feel great when you get done, just that you accomplished it. And here's nothing but soybeans on the right and cornfields on the left. We're coming up to corn on the right. That's pretty much Missouri out in the country. Here we are pulling to stop number 3. I don't remember exactly what town this was in, but it was a nice little town. But I'm pulling up to stop number 3 here in just a second. And as you can see, there's just hundreds of cyclists. I mean, it's just awesome. Very well organized ride. I mean, it's just, these, you know, people are great to ride with. See all kinds of bikes out there too, like the tandem bike like they have, and you'll see people on the you know, on the low bikes, you know, I forget what those are called, but yeah, you'll see people on those, all different kinds of bikes. And here I think I stopped because something fell off my bike when I went over the railroad tracks. I think my tail light or something fell off my bike. And recumbent bikes is the word I was thinking for. You know, you'll still see people in recumbent bikes, you'll see people in road bikes, all-terrain bikes, you know, just about every kind of bike that you can think of. And you'll see people from all walks of life too. I mean, people who are very serious cyclists to people who are just, you know, the person who's just an occasional cyclist. front of you that there's a car behind them by saying car back. You warn the people, you know, behind you that there's a car up front. So it's really nice. Everybody's very conscious of, you know, the other cyclists. Sometimes what cyclists will do as well, they'll, you know, let you know if you're coming up on the left or something, if you're passing them. I did some of that, some of it I didn't. But you know, that's kind of what you're supposed to do is, you know, if you're passing a cyclist on the left, let them know I'm coming up on your left. Pavement does get a bit rough sometimes, and that can be rather painful. Although you get used to it after the first maybe 10 miles or so, you know, it all feels about the same. I've got those nice orange and blue markers also. You saw those just a little bit back in the video, and that tells you, you know, which routes go which direction. If I remember correctly on this, the orange was the 75-mile route and the blue was the 100-mile route. But they've got it painted on the roads, which is really nice, and they've also got signs at each intersection to just kind of let you know that you're not, you know, getting off of the, you know, route that you're supposed to be on. Or if you are getting off the route that you're supposed to be on, if you don't see those signs. At this point, we're probably about maybe a third of the way into the ride or so, probably about, you know, 25 miles into the ride, and it was getting up to about maybe, you know, 65 degrees, something like that, and it was just beautiful. And there's an Amish guy with a cart. That was pretty awesome too. We went through some Amish country, and there's, you know, you see a couple of Amish here on their, you know, horse-drawn carts. horse dung on the road. And we'll be coming up to an Amish farm actually here that's on the left, not this one on the right, but the one that's on the left. You really got to watch out for the piles in the road. But it'll be coming up on the left, and that's where I believe it was the 4th stop in the ride. May have been the 3rd stop, but I think it might have been the 4th stop in the ride. But it was really neat, though. I mean, you just go in there, and there's Amish people selling their, pies and pastries and things like that, cookies and that kind of thing. Yep, here it is. Here's the Amish farm on the left. Now you're not allowed to actually film while you're up there, talking to the Amish people, because it's kind of against their, religion as far as the technology and everything. So I had to, cut the camera off here, but they were selling like pastries and things, pies and things inside that building on the left there. And there's their house. Guy on a horse-drawn cart coming up on the left. If they're kind of out on the road, there's not a whole lot you can do about your camera. So the camera was on. Up above, and like I said, it was about 65, 68 degrees probably at this point. I mean, it couldn't have been a nicer day for this. Of course, it is a lot of work too. You get a lot of exercise in, but it's well worth it. stop. I believe this was stop number 5 on the route, and it was just held at a farm. And this is, you know, it's not an Amish farm. We're out of Amish country by this point. But I mean, again, you know, just, you know, thousands of cyclists out there. You know, at least probably 100 or a couple hundred at every stop. I mean, it's just awesome. And also, one thing that the stops do is they compete for the best stop. So they'll have like all kinds of good snacks and everything, and then at the end of the ride you get to vote on those stops. Stop too. I think it was. If I remember correctly, when I pull my bike up here, you might see some people sitting, eating some lunch. Everybody's just so nice and courteous. It's really great. It's a great experience. And again, you can see here we're pulling in nothing but soybeans on the right and corn on the left. And that's pretty much the countryside in Missouri. Referred to as the grain belt or the bread basket of the world. Well, maybe not the bread basket because there's not wheat, but definitely the grain belt with the corn. Another stop here, a whole bunch of people cheering and stopping up on the left here. Oh, this was the lunch stop. The last one wasn't the lunch stop, so the last one must have been stop number 4, and this was stop number 5. So this is where they had the sandwiches and everything. But this was in another little town along the way, and again, I forget the names of the towns. I should have kept better track of that. But at lunch stop, generally they have like some kind of like barbecue sandwiches. I think actually this one was catered by Lion's Choice, if I remember correctly. So we had like these Lion's Choice, you know, lunch boxes. Here we are going on a little bit more rough pavement, you know, well into the ride, probably about 60 miles or so into the ride. That's always great after you've been riding for so long and you hit that rough pavement. Here at the end of the ride, this might be the end. Yeah, it's the end of the ride, so it was 75 miles in. So this is the finish line, and I think I arrived there about maybe noon after starting at 7 o'clock. Heading for the free beer tent. I mean, this just gives you an idea of, you know, what they have, all the facilities that are there too. I mean, all the different tents for the different teams and everything, and the finish line, and it's just awesome. And here's my sister. She's going to be up here in a minute. There's the Bud Light truck. Which is what you like to see after a ride like this. They had Bud Light and Michelob, and I think Michelob Ultra, all given away for free. And I left the camera on here just kind of give you a little bit of the atmosphere of the ride and the finish line, and it's just awesome. And you have like a party after the ride also. They had a band playing and stuff, and it was really great. I highly recommend doing this ride. There's my sister.